Alright, what is good? What is happening? OP Army, it's your boy Overpowered. Chuck bringing guys today a pretty sweet ASM1 class setup. So this is my preferred setup right now. This is just what I think is the best at the current point in time because we all know SMGs and AW are a little bit underpowered. ARs are a little bit reigning dominant at the moment, so I was just kind of thinking, what can I possibly do to be able to enjoy this set of guns or this class of guns? And so I started messing around with perks and everything, and I figured out this setup you guys are seeing right here. So let's get right into it. Basically, Tier 1, we've rolling around with lightweight and low profile. So, with an SMG, you already are rolling around at 100% movement speed, and I figured, why the fuck not put on something so you can run a little bit faster? We're going to go 110% movement speed. Then you got to run with the low profile so you can stay off the UAV when you're not shooting, It's just kind of common sense. You want to be able to get from place to place without always being on the radar. That's kind of my thinking behind it, and it seems to work out pretty nicely. Flak jacket, overcharge, whatever it was, and danger close are kind of a little bit useless, so there's no point in using that because you're moving so fast you probably just boost away from the explosive anyways. Perk 2, we got Gung Ho. So you guys all know what Gung Ho is. It's probably more useful for shotguns and everything, close quarters weapons. And so I put it on this SMG and I was running around with it, and it's like basically you are good to have steady aim pro on it. Essentially, if you're sprinting or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can be running at full movement speed, you got your exo ability going, and you are still able to hit fire. So it's almost like you can tap the right trigger before you can even aim in with your left one. So I find it pretty useful coming in for close quarter situations that I'm already got a better advantage on someone where my gun is ready to go and they still have to bring theirs up. So it's that little advantage that gets you guys the kill. Then going down to perk 3, we got toughness. So, there is a pretty big debate about tier 3, how that's got some of the best perks within the game. You got toughness, scavenger, hardline, blast suppressor. You got all those different things. But the reason I chose toughness is because you're going to be up close and personal with a lot of different people, and staying on target is a must. And so I figured that if I'm going to be, rolling around with people, these guys are seeing in the gameplay in the background, if I'm going to be shooting at them, I want to make sure I can land on all the possible shots possible, all the possible shots. I need to make sure that I can land every single shot possible. So that is basically my thinking behind it. You can roll around basically with whatever you want. Toughness is not necessary. You can run scavenger, hardline. It doesn't really matter. But let's go right on down to the exo ability. So I got overclock on. You're moving fast as hell already. Why not make it faster? 120% speed. It doesn't really matter. This is just basically a class for you to move from point A to point B like fast as fuck. That's just plain and simple. Move from point A to point B, take out some shit, and just go with it. So that's what I run with it. You can run, anything else like maybe cloak or stim, whatever you feel like doing. It just depends on if you're playing an OBJ game mode or if you just feel like rushing balls to the wall. Doesn't really matter. But then let's just move right over to the ASM1 before I get into the streaks and everything else. So you got your foregrip. And we all know the ASM1's recoil is a little bit screwy. And so I figured, I might as well put on the foregrip. And I put it on, and it seems to be marginally better. My accuracy seems to be a lot more on point. I'm seeming to be able to pick people off from a longer range than I was before I had on the grip. So I put that on, and then I also put on the laser sight. It go hand in hand with Gung Ho. You got a little bit better hip fire accuracy going right there. So you're just a close quarters killing machine. That's pretty beast right there. And I don't really feel the need for a secondary. You got a 45 round clip right now as base. So that's really pretty good for me, actually. It's like having 3 attachments in one. You got, your extended clip, you got your foregrip, and then you got your laser sight. So then we move on over to the score streaks. The last thing we got in the score streaks is going to be the UAV. And so the reason I got the 2 little things on the UAV is I got the directional movement, and then I got the assists. So I find that is the best possible setup for me at the current point in time without making it unusually high in points to be able to get. I figured that, if I'm rushing around enough, this is going to be low enough for me to get, and then good enough for me to be able to cycle through and maybe even get a DNA bomb. So that's just my thinking on it. Hope you guys do enjoy the setup. I will catch you guys in another video. Till next time, just remember, don't triple cap, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.